Hey, how's everybody doing? It's the music reviewer here. Today we're gonna review Panic at the Disco's Death of the Bachelor album. It was released 2016, 12 tracks. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it is it good? Okay. Is it bad? Is it mediocre? Is it mediocre? Is this a tree? Yeah, it is. But point being, we're gonna review this thing, and we're gonna review it pretty good. I'm a bit late on this review, a year to be exact. I'm sorry, but yeah. Let's just take this track by track, and if I get sidetracked, kill me. Then yeah, we just move on. So, yeah, a little backstory behind this album. Panic at the Disco, they're an alternative / emo band, even though Brendan doesn't like to admit it. My friend Brendan, right up here, you were part of that 2005 to 2008 emo stage. Don't even pretend that you guys weren't like a fever you can't sweat out emo. But, if you didn't see my, Panic at the Disco albums ranked worst to best, then go check it out, because this album was, like, my #1 favorite Panic at the Disco. But, yeah, so, basically, all the original members of Panic at the Disco are gone. It's only Brendan Urie now. It's basically Brendan Urie's solo act, the Brendan Urie Show, starring, and featuring only Brendan Urie. So, yeah, he had complete creative control over this album, and, yeah, I honestly think it was, I honestly don't miss the other people. I'm not saying that A Fever or Pretty Odd are bad, they're just, I'm not too big on their kind of goofy and immature sound. Come on, you have to admit, they were kind of dumb and kind of silly. The music was good, but you know what? The style wasn't all there, and you know, for the longest time after, it was just Brendan and the drummer. After they split off after Vices and Virtues, it was just Brendan from this point. So yeah, I think Brendan brings out the best in this solo act. I mean, really, who knew Brendan had so much potential? Like, this stuff just absolutely stomps on basically all of their past work. Same thing with Too Weird to Live, Too Whatever to Die. I don't know. Long titles, man. Don't make them. But yeah, starting off with the first track, Victorious. God, I heard this thing all over the radio, and only after like I actually started getting the Panic at the Disco, I noticed this was actually made by them. So the overplaying of it on the radio kind of ruined the listening experience for me a little bit, but it's still a really strong opener. Brendan's vocals are once again just outstanding, and yeah, such a you know, huge kind of like amping anthem, something you definitely listen to maybe before like a, you know, like a sports game or something like that, something to get you hyped up. And yeah, it's really good. Next up we have Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, probably like my top 5 favorite Panic at the Disco songs. The surf guitars are just so catchy, and you know, the lyrics and the kind of like the expression that Brendan has on his vocal performance, just the way he kind of sings the words with such attitude during the verses. It gives the song a lot of oomph and just a lot of strength, just to punch you right in the face with all them good music vibes. And then after that is Emperor's New Clothes, and now when I first listened to this thing, I was just blown away by like how outstanding Brendan's vocals. This is probably the best, highest Brendan's vocals go on this album. But yeah, and then I actually don't know what the album track listing. I'm just gonna name off songs. Death of the Bachelor, probably the staple of what Panic at the Disco was always meant to be. Brendan even said before kind of releasing this album, he wanted to kind of have a blend of Freddie Mercury and Frank Sinatra. On paper, that may not sound like a good idea, but in practice, I mean, this was my favorite Panic at the Disco album, my review of top favorites, so and it had to turn out pretty good somehow. I love the absolute blend of those Freddie Mercury styled powered vibe and vocals mixed with the kind of classy, kind of slow paced Frank Sinatra on stuff like Impossible Year. Holy crap. You know, just if there wasn't already enough icing on the cake, this added the icing of icing of icing of the cherry of the icing on top of the cake. Like, this song just adds like the 50th layer to like this 49 layer perfect, huge, grand spanking, perfect album. And then we got Golden Days, probably one of the most kind of classy, almost like a 60s styles, 60s styled kind of a little bit of a doo-woppy vibe to it. Something you can kind of like, I don't know, maybe like, it starts off with like kind of a swing dance 60 kind of thing, and then it just turns into this modern day kind of party anthem, kind of live forever, live young forever kind of party anthem. And I really, it took a while for it to grow on me, but once I started getting into it, I was all into this song. And House of Memories, I think House of Memories is probably the weakest track on the album, but doesn't mean it's not good. It's got a very catchy and like the beat to it is very, very good. And I felt like it had a lot of potential. It kind of fell a little bit short on the chorus, but the verses and everything else makes up for that. And Brendan Urie's, once again, outstanding vocals. I mean, that's what Panic is known for. I know I'll bring up Brendan's vocals a lot, but Brendan is basically the heart and soul of this album. And yeah, I mean, so we also have I'm thinking here. You know what? I've actually forgotten all the songs. I do this all in one live cut. You know what? Whatever. It's a live recording for a reason. But yeah, I think Brendan brings out the best in this band, and I think he should stay solo from now on. Because if he brings out another Deathly Bachelor, whenever they bring out another album, he brings out another album, this band is heading in the right direction, definitely. Hopefully they don't fall on their face like Weezer did. It feels like summer. But I'm too depressed to talk about that. Because, oh, Weezer. You know what? It's nothing. One fun fact, actually. Did you know that Brendan actually learned how to play drums? He plays all the instruments on this album, except for the horn. He actually learned how to play drums off of Weezer's Blue album, which I just reviewed, like yesterday, 2 uploads ago. Go check it out. So what would I rate this album? I would give this album a strong 9.5 out of 10. And it's almost perfect. It's just about there. I just felt like House of Memories was missing just a little bit of oomph, and that's just the last 0.5. But if you want to round that off to a 10, it's still a 9.5 in my book. Still pretty freaking good. If you're into alternative, any kind of pop, anything like that, go check this out. Especially Hallelujah. I just remembered that song, and now we're 9 minutes in. Yeah, Hallelujah, it's good. You guys are the best. Bye.